Welcome to the Jet Set Hers podcast. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Jaimie. We discuss travel, adventure, and everyday life. Listen with us, and let's go somewhere.
Hi.
Yo, Jenny, what's up?
Not much. Welcome back. This is episode 9.
Yay.
It's crazy.
We're old now.
So today is just me and Jaimie. Just us. No guest stars today.
Yeah, we'll be our own guests for today. I just went on a cool birthday trip, so we thought that we should talk about that. So
Yeah, we're going to hear all about her trip that I'm so jealous I wasn't part of.
well, if you were more closer, I'm sure you would have came. So
I almost did. I was like, let me find a flight, hop over.
Right.
What you drinking?
Today, I actually am drinking coffee.
Coffee?
Yes, I got up early today and been doing stuff around the house, so I needed a little midday push. So got a fresh batch. Just made some good old coffee at home. Cream, sugar, you know.
Do you do flavored cream?
I do. I do the Delight French vanilla.
Yum.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty.
It's one of my go-tos.
Mine too.
Making me feel like a lush over here.
Well, what about you? What do you have today?
Today I have, it is from Odell Brewing, which I've had before on the show, but it's their Oktoberfest, so it's their seasonal fall beer. It's pretty good, but I'm really bummed because I love pumpkin beer and I can't find any here in Colorado. And I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, we have all of our stuff, all of our fall stuff's already released. So what's the flavor that you have? If it's not pumpkin, what is that?
So it's a Marzen style lager. It's just kind of, let's see. It's brewed with biscuity sweet Munich malts, spicy herbal hops, and it says it's just great for fall weather.
Hey, that actually sounds pretty good. I'll try that.
Yeah. I mean, Odell's a pretty solid brewery, so I don't think they make anything that's too terrible, but.
Yum-o.
We got a new beer on tap at work from Denver Beer Company called Pretzel Assassin. It's like an amber. It's really good. Yeah.
That actually sounds cool. Pretzel Assassin.
Yeah.
Sweet. You'll have to try it and report back.
I did. It's delicious.
Oh, nice.
As soon as we get something new, I'm like, I need to try this. I can't sell it if I don't know what it tastes like. So.
It's for research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know we said that we were going to talk about, travel news, and we really haven't touched on it much yet. But I was looking through today, and all the travel news is really the same right now. It's all COVID related. I did see that Colombia is going to start opening international travel. They're going to open their borders. I think it's like September 21st. So that's kind of exciting.
Right. Finally.
For real. That's not somewhere on the top of my bucket list, but at least it's nice to see some places are starting to allow tourists back in.
For sure.
It's good for their economies too. I know Italy, they're worried that winter is going to hurt them financially after everything. So,
right. A little island like that for sure.
Yeah.
People can't, go there and visit. So tourism's a big part of that.
Yeah, and then I saw a lot of articles about people refusing to wear masks and planes actually getting turned around because of it, which is just so crazy to me. If you're going to fly, follow the rules. Wear a mask, people.
For sure. That actually just happened. There was a Detroit person that they were on a flight from, I think, L.A., and they didn't turn the flight around because the person would not put on their mask. So it's like, you big dummy.
Yeah. Like, if you really don't want to wear masks, bring snacks and just eat them constantly. That's all you have to do.
But it's like, what you're going in for when you have these days of COVID and flying. Like, what's expected of you before you go. So come on, don't be rude.
Yeah, don't ruin it for the rest of the plane.
Yeah, definitely. I would be super upset if I was on that flight.
Yeah, so for anyone flying, take it seriously because they will turn the plane around. We have found that out.
Right.
Yeah. And then some local news that was actually pretty sad. A hiker, I guess he was also mountain climbing. His name was Steven Grunwald. He was doing this really long called Glacier Gorge Traverse in Rocky Mountain National Park here in Estes Park. And he went missing. His family talked to him last on August 28th. He wasn't reported missing till September 10th, which is a really long time. But I guess some people don't talk to everyone every day, so it's kind of hard. But they found his car at the Glacier Gorge trailhead, which me and my roommate actually hiked that trail September 2nd. So it was after he went missing, which is crazy.
Wow.
And they found a body. I just saw that this morning. They announced it, and it's not confirmed, but it's probably him, and that's just really sad. So thoughts to his family, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Thoughts go out to his family. That's crazy that you were just there.
Yeah.
But, people don't have cell service sometimes, like in the mountains either, We don't know if he was camping or what. So,
yeah,
well, definitely prayers up. So,
yeah. And if you are rock climbing, don't do it alone if you can avoid it, because one wrong step and unfortunately it's a long fall. So,
yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, it's all about safety. Obviously, go out, have fun, do everything, but be safe about it.
For sure.
Yeah, so on a lighter note, let's hear all about your birthday trip, Jaimie. Tell us everything.
I would love to tell you guys everything. So we are actually looking for a place to go up north in northern Michigan. My birthday fell on Labor Day this year, the 7th of September. Every place that I was looking at actually was becoming booked rather quickly. It was only just going to be, I think, 4 of us that had originally planned to go anyways. So it was pretty easy to get accommodations. But with it being Labor Day, I felt like it was booking up, quicker than normal. My cousin actually found this place in Ohio. It was 4 hours south of where we are in Metro Detroit. So it's called Hocking Hills. It's like kind of like towards the bottom of Ohio, I guess. Like really in the middle of nowhere. But it's just these incredible like sandstone deep walls and caves and waterfalls that you can hike to. And it was like built thousands of years ago by old Indian settlers. So it was awesome. We went from Sunday, the 6th of September, and we went to Wednesday. We left on Wednesday.
I've never heard of that place, but now I have to go there. So,
yeah. So Katrina actually tagged me in a couple pictures that she saw on the Facebook group that we are actually all in, the Girls That Love Travel group.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, this is just beautiful. So she was looking and found an Airbnb like on a 100-acre farm right outside of Hocking Hills in Logan, Ohio. This tiny little cabin, perfectly for the 4 of us. And she booked it. So I was like, yeah, book it for a couple of days. Right now I'm not working, the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday. I don't work on Sunday either. So it was really perfect. I didn't really have to take off any days besides one day for Wednesday. But yeah, she just kind of spur of the moment, like towards the end when I was just figuring that we weren't going to be able to do anything for my birthday. She sent me that.
Was it just the 2 of you?
It was me and my cousin Katrina that you guys just heard in the last episode, her best friend Lee, which we've known forever, and Tiffany. So it was the 4 of us.
Oh, Tiffany did get to go?
Yeah, she did get to
Oh,
go
yay.
after
I didn't know
all.
that. That's so good.
She wasn't supposed to be able to go at first with work, but she actually managed to get it off. So, we drove in Katrina's brand new whip, so that was super cool.
Road
on our way
trip.
down there. 4 hours south, so it wasn't too bad. Just like it was if we would have went like up north in northern Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Got to this little cabin, so it was pretty much like 30 minutes outside of like the Hocking Hills State Park, which you could go park at the beginning of these different trailheads. There's a lake in Lake Logan, like in Logan, Ohio, which is like the little city that's right outside of there. Little coffee shop in town. And you go drive a little bit further to the actual town, and then they have like a Walmart. There was a Taco Bell, like a Wendy's, like a couple stores, like a couple hardware stores, stuff like that. And that was really it. Like, unless you hop back on the freeway and drive, 30 minutes north or south into an actual city again. So It was pretty
Yeah.
cool being like definitely out of the city. There were cows that would come like down on our property like in the morning and at night, and it was really cool. We had a hot
That is so
tub,
cool.
so
Ooh, hot
it
tub,
was
yeah.
perfect. And it was like a tiny little cabin, you know, it was like just had the accommodations. There was an oven though, like we got some snacks and got some stuff to make sandwiches, so we didn't have to like go out very much to get food or anything. You know, we just had stuff there, snacks and stuff to eat, booze and stuff. So we are pretty set by the time that we would go back to the cabin. But Sunday we just got there, chilled, went to the store and got, you know, a bunch of supplies. And Monday was when we actually hit the hikes. My actual birthday.
That sounds awesome. That's like everything I want. Just chill, nature, hanging out.
Yeah, it was really cool when we were passing through right where the couple where the trailheads were. I was on our way to our cabin. It was super packed on Sunday. Like we were extremely worried because there were so many people there. And the very next day was when we decided to hit the trailhead. The state park opened up at 8 and we were there at 8. And we barely saw anybody. So that was super cool.
Hmm.
Towards the end of our hike, when we were about to leave, we saw a lot more people coming. So we were smart for getting up right when they open and going hiking. And
Yeah,
honestly, that was the best deal too, because once it was like noon, the temperature was significantly warmer. So
I bet.
yeah, so the first day we actually hiked on Monday. It's a 6.5 mile hike. There and back, we hiked Ash Cave to Cedar Falls. So we saw tons of different waterfalls, tons of like different little
Oh,
nooks, little caves, little crannies. And that was like, yeah, we got there at 8 o'clock, and I think we finished our hike. Oh goodness, what time was it?
I love waterfalls.
It was just astounding being there and hiking that. We actually saw this guy, this runner guy, on that hike twice, and he met up with us and was kind of talking to us at one point, and he gave us some recommendations to get lunch in like a nearby city after that. So that was the one time we went out, was actually on my birthday after that hike, 6.5 mile hike. But
That's the best after a long hike, just shoving food in your face.
yeah, definitely. It was super cool. It was super, it's starting to get really warm. I mean, the weather was perfect when we were there. I think I got a burger that was pretty good at the restaurant.
Hmm.
Burger and a beer, but yeah, Ash Cave to Cedar Falls and back was 6.5 miles. And Ash Cave actually got its name because there was a huge pile of ashes found underneath a shelter by early settlers. That large pile was recorded as 100 feet long and 30 feet wide from Indian campfires that were built up over hundreds of years. So I thought that was super cool, like learning about like the history behind Hocking Hills
Yeah.
while we were hiking it. Yeah, there's an excavation of the ashes in 1877, which is still a long time ago, and it revealed sticks, arrows, animal bones, pottery, and corn cobs. So there were definitely people that were there and that were doing their thing. So that was super cool seeing that. And then the hike to Cedar Falls, which was like a larger falls, but there were like little falls that we saw on the way there too. So it was really cool.
Yeah. So you could actually see the ash pile and everything?
No, we couldn't see the ash pile, but I mean, there was like a little cave area that you could see was like kind of like cut out almost.
Hmm.
But no, there was no ashes like at this point.
Was it a cave you could like go into, or was it just like an over, like where the rock comes over?
So it's like a big, deep, open like cave almost,
Okay.
if I'm describing that right. I'll send some pictures and you can actually see what I'm talking about. But it's still
Yes, please.
open. But yeah, you could still walk through it. And like the walls of these like these hills, I guess it's like sandstone, and
Hmm.
they go up so high. It's just crazy. And then so the second day, Tuesday, we hiked a cave called Old Man's Cave. And that was like a 4 mile hike there and back. And this is literally like it was said to be from like an old man that carved this out, and he lived there with his dogs, and that was super cool. That actually had like a little cave that was underneath the ground that you walk through.
You could actually go down into it.
Yes, and I
Ugh.
cannot wait to show you the picture. It was crazy.
Yeah, everything you've said so far just reminds me so much of Southern Utah because it was, rocks, caves, Indian artifacts, what is it, hieroglyphics on the walls, like all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. Just, I love it so much.
I seriously cannot wait to go to Utah, and I really hope that you come with us when we go.
So, on that travel group that we're part of, someone was just talking about a road trip they're doing through all the Utah national parks.
It's so awesome.
And I've been to a couple of them, like when I was young, but I think we should do it.
Oh, count me in.
Like the girl was even saying she was gonna like car camp, like just sleep in her car. And so I'm
Oh,
like, we could just
perfect.
rent like a minivan. So we each have like somewhere to lay out and
Put some stuff in the back to be
yeah,
comfortable.
have a cooler with some food in it.
Yeah, we could
We should,
definitely do that.
yeah, I think we should do that. Well, obviously
Our
we can't
little
in the
miniature
winter.
girl.
Yeah, because Utah gets a lot of snow, but maybe in the spring we can figure that out.
All right.
Yeah. So do you have more information on the old man cave?
Yeah, so actually there's a historical marker like right at the end of the hike of Old Man's Cave, and I'm actually gonna read the placard to you guys. So they actually put this placard here in 2003 when it became a part of the Ohio Historical Society. So it says Old Man's Cave. This recessed cave was named for the old man Richard Rowe, a recluse who made the cave his home in the 1800s and is a part of scenic Hocking Hills State Park. Hocking comes from the Wyandotte Indian word hocking. Hocking. Weird word, right? Hocking, referring to the Hocking River's bottle-shaped gorge near Lancaster. Streams and percolating groundwater carved the hollows and caves in this area from layers of sandstone bedrock that vary in hardness. The hollow's moist, cool climate preserves more typically northern tree species such as eastern hemlock trees and Canada yew, which have persisted since the glaciers retreated 15,000 years ago.
Wow.
And then it's like there's a recess cave, which is the old man's cave.
Mm-hmm.
It's located on a vertical cliff 75 feet above the stream and measures 200 feet long and 50 feet high. It's basically have been carved out from water and wind.
So it was up above.
It was down below. So the actual cave is huge, but his like little where he like stayed, I suppose we were able to walk through that.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's basically like it says there's a roof and a floor. Essentially, that was like a natural occurrence, like through the softer layers of the sandstone, and it was like carved out like that by itself. But he lived there in the recess cave of the gorge at the bottom. And it says his family moved to the Ohio River Valley around 1796 from the Cumberland Mountains of Tennessee to establish a trading post. Him and his two hound dogs traveled through Ohio along the Scioto River in search of game. On a side trip up Salt Creek, he found the Hocking Hills region, and he stayed there until he died. With obviously his dogs, I'm sure, died before him, but
I was about to ask
how
about the dog.
freaking cool.
That's so cute though. Like he knew he just wanted to live a peaceful, lonely life with his pup and respect.
Yeah, and if he was a recluse already, that would have been perfect for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, having like those little placards and seeing them along like the hike and just
Yeah.
learning while you're actually like doing it makes it that much more fun, and there was 4 of us, so we were having a really good time. Katrina's birthday just passed. Her birthday was a couple days after mine, so it was really, really awesome to be out there with her. She's my favorite person to go on birthday trips with, and then Lee and Tiff just made it a bonus, so it was a really nice birthday trip to get out of here for a couple days and be like in the middle of nowhere. Oh, and I forgot to tell you the best part. We didn't have cell service like the entire time.
Yeah, I remember because I would text you and I get a response like 2 days later, but I understood. I was like, she's not
Yeah.
getting them.
And it was funny, like we would drive through areas, like we would only drive through areas like for like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. And everybody's phones would start dinging and going
Yeah.
off because we'd have reception and then we'd go back out of it. The little cabin had Wi-Fi, but it still, that's just like, other apps. That's not
Yeah.
necessarily like texting and stuff, but it was really cool to just unplug, unwind, and we didn't even worry about our phones. My boys just sat in the house. So
That's such a healthy vacation too. Like get away from the internet, social media,
it
all
was
of it.
much needed for sure. I think for all of us.
Yeah. Do you know the name of where you stayed? So if anyone's looking.
It was so Katrina found it. There was the cabin on Airbnb. It was Copper Creek Valley or Copper Valley in Logan, Ohio.
Okay.
So yeah, there was actually a weird review right before we went there about having a bat and weird noises like animals on the walls. We did not have a bat. However, there are tons of bats flying outside of the property, like tons of them at dusk, like at that time that bats are out. So that was super cool. My cousin was a little afraid, but there's definitely some sort of tiny little critter in one of the bedrooms. Um, Thankfully, it wasn't our bedroom, but Katrina did hear it one of the days. So,
That doesn't surprise me though. No, I was gonna say one of my friend's apartments in Orlando, like middle of the city, they had bats in their walls. Like if you put your ear up to it, you could hear them shuffling around. And then if you went outside, like right before dusk hit, you could see them all fly out of a hole. It
oh
was
my
insane, like
gosh.
thousands of them. And that's in
Oh,
Orlando. So I can only imagine, middle of nowhere, Ohio.
yeah, for sure. There definitely was no place for it to like come out at, but
Yeah. So did you guys take like a lot of food with you? Like what'd you eat while you were there?
so we actually didn't take much, but some snacks with us. I had a bag full of just like random snacks. When we got there that Sunday, though, after our drive, we went to the cabin, dropped our stuff off, and then drove like 45, 50 minutes to the Walmart that was in town, which I hate Walmart, but it was the only grocery store
Yeah.
around. So we just got a few items, like stuff to make sandwiches, like a frozen pizza, like stupid stuff like that that we probably shouldn't be eating because it's not the healthiest, but it was all right for a little trip.
Yeah. And you're looking for something easy and cheap. So I get it.
Yep, and we just wanted it to be like quick, so we got some breakfast muffins for the morning, and yeah, just some little stuff like that. We got a couple gallons of water because we all had like to go water bottles, so we weren't using single use plastics.
Good, good.
Yup. And yeah, we pretty much like as a little bit of snacks that Tiff and I brought were enough to share with everybody. So we actually didn't have to buy too much there. So that was nice.
That's so awesome. So you just did the 2 hikes?
Yep. So the first hike, Ash Cave to Cedar Falls, that was actually a connected hike. So it was two. So it was Ash Cave, and then we hiked to Cedar Falls. But there was like 3 other falls on the way, and like during those. So we did that one Monday, and then we did the Old Man's Cave on Tuesday. And then actually after Old Man's Cave, we went to the lake that was there, Lake Logan. We were gonna rent a pontoon boat, but actually they didn't have any available. So we took kayaks out for 2 hours and kayaked around the lake. That was really fun.
Oh, that
And
is
then
really cool. I love kayaking.
yeah, it was perfect weather. We were all sunburnt pretty much after that. We had sandwiches. We were all, had sandwiches for that day, sandwiches and like snacks and stuff. So that was nice. And then after that, it was, later in the day, like 5 o'clock, went back to the cabin, and that was our last night there. So we had a bonfire, watched the sunset, watched all the bats, got in the tub a couple times, and really just enjoyed our last night in peace. We were going to do a couple hikes in the morning before we left on Wednesday, but we just decided to head home, which was actually perfect for me because we got here in enough time to where I'm not rushing. I had to work like a 10, 11-hour shift the next day. So
Yeah. You want
it
to get
was
home and get
really,
rest?
it was better for me to come home a little bit more earlier in the day opposed to 10 o'clock at night. So I didn't mind that. And for some reason, you know how it is coming home from anywhere, the road trip always seems faster on the way home. So
Yeah.
it seemed like it took half the time on the way back than it did on the way there, but I guess it's anywhere. Tiffany slept in the car the whole time. I didn't have anybody to talk to. Those guys were jamming Taylor Swift, so I was
Taylor
miserable.
Swift.
We listened to a podcast on the way home, thank God, but
What podcast?
I think Katrina loves crime, so I think it was a
Same.
Crime Junkie or something.
Oh yeah, I love Crime
We listened
Junkie.
to we listened to a couple good episodes, so that was pretty cool. I was entertained, and Katrina actually got me a book for my birthday that she brought on the trip. It was like 100 state parks in the U.S., so I was nose deep in that book for like a whole entire hour or two.
That's amazing. So you can plan
Yeah.
our road trip.
It's perfect. Yeah, that was so perfect too because we actually exchanged gifts the day that we were going on our road trip. I got to her house, gave her hers, and she gave me mine in the car, and that book was in there. And I was like, this is so perfect for a road trip. Oh, I was so excited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She's a good gift giver.
You'll have to go in and like list your bucket list parks.
Yeah, definitely. I actually already have quite a few parks written down, so.
I know I really want to go to, I think it's like Glacier National Park.
Yes, me
Ugh.
too. Montana, right?
Yeah, I think it's like 8 or 9 hour drive from here. So I'm like, that's not too terrible.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, my cousin that lives that's in Oregon right now
Mm-hmm.
was being evacuated because of the wildfires. They were going to evacuate to Washington, but couldn't even evacuate to Washington because they're evacuating. So they're actually going home to New Mexico right now. They're probably actually pretty close to being home by now because that was a couple days ago that I talked to her. But yup, they're going back home already because of all the wildfires.
That's insane.
So sad. Jenny, she sent me so many pictures of just real-time pictures. It's like all the pictures that you're seeing everywhere, and it's just like, it's crazy. Her boyfriend's in one of them, and it hurts. Mother Earth is
Yeah.
hurting.
I mean, I know California is really bad.
Yeah.
We have 4, I think, active fires here. They got so bad. It was last weekend. I had a friend come up and we were sitting in a brewery outside and I was wearing all black, like black leggings, black shirt. And I started noticing like little powders all over, like little dots. It was raining ash from the sky. And you looked up and you could just see this like orange billowing cloud coming from the mountains. And it just got worse over the next 2 days. Like it was just raining ash, like hard.
That is insane.
Yeah. And that's insane to me because we didn't have that problem, in Central Florida.
Definitely.
So it's not anything I've ever had to deal with. But thank goodness Tuesday, it actually snowed here. Like it went from 95 the day before to like 30 and it snowed all day. But thank God, because it actually helped kind of keep the fires like from growing. So I think they're still burning, but not as bad as they were.
Yeah, for sure. There's actually a news article that was released today. There was a picture of our sunrise here in Michigan in Wyandotte over the water, and it is orange on the horizon. If you pay attention, the freaking smoke from the wildfires and the soot has reached Michigan already.
That's insane.
Today. It's really sad.
Yeah, my grandma Carol in Utah said that they're getting the California and Oregon fires, but then they're also getting the Colorado one. So they're getting like covered with from both sides, basically, of
Right, yeah,
smoke.
they're smushed in between, that state's
Yep.
smushed in between them, so that, gosh, how.
Yeah, just because like any kind of wind just like blows the smoke
Mhm.
like super far. It's
Yeah, it
crazy.
is truly heartbreaking and extremely devastating.
Yeah,
It's like Australia, but,
here.
here.
It's not, I don't think it's quite as bad as the Australian ones, but it's still really sad.
Sure, absolutely. There is a picture today, like, that shows like, how much of, like, our part of Metro Detroit would be gone if, and that's a pretty significant amount to think about, like, your hometown, you know what I mean? Like, how much would be gone of it if that was here, so I feel like everybody should have that perspective and, like, take
Yeah.
it as a real thing, because it's real.
It's just crazy because like our fires here, 3 of them are more west. Like one of them's super west, almost to the Utah state line. So those are farther in, but those are keeping me from doing my summer bucket list items because they're over there where the fires are. So you can't get in there right now. But then we have one that's pretty close. It's called the Cameron Peak Fire. It's up Pooter Canyon. Whenever you come visit, I'll show you where that is.
Pooter.
Yeah. It's Poudre. So,
I love
but
it.
that one's really close. And it like where we work, I work at like the base of the foothills of the mountains. And like the smoke would be really bad there. Like you would open the door to go outside and it would hit you. And I have asthma. So I would like have to like step back and start choking. But we actually went on a hike, the same hike I said we went on that guy went missing on, which is in Rocky Mountain National Park, which is actually super close to where the fires are. And actually part of the park is closed because of the fires. But
Wow.
it was blue skies and clear air. And it's just because we were at a higher elevation. It's so crazy to me that we were technically closer than at home, but the air was cleaner. It was weird. Yeah. So, I feel like other people are also going to want to go to Hocking Hill like I do now. So what suggestions do you have for anyone planning a trip?
Definitely look at your Airbnb and your, like, local cabin options, because when we were driving through there to, like, our little cabin, we saw tons of little hideaway cabins that were also in the middle of nowhere that had like little tiny little signs with phone numbers, like, that looked like they were really, really awesome. So I would say probably check there before you check like stupid hotels or something like that. Definitely do your research, read reviews, obviously. But if you're driving, which you probably would be driving, be very careful of the cops in Ohio, because their state troopers on the freeway we saw so many on the way going down there, and the speed limit is very much lower than any other place I've driven, and it's just very awkward. So just be careful, because, yeah, they're all over.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a fun start to a trip.
Uh-uh.
Well, I think you definitely had a successful birthday trip from the sounds of it.
Yeah, it was very relaxing and nice to get away. So,
Yeah. Everyone should look into that if that's something that sounds good to you.
yeah, I actually see quite a few people posting about it on Facebook. So hopefully they have a good experience as well. But I was going to ask you, Jenny, do you have any trips or anything coming up?
Yeah, so I'm trying to plan something super last minute. But this weekend, I'm trying to go just down into the mountains, like 3-hour drive to a hot springs. I haven't been to one yet, and they're all over Colorado. But the place we're looking at does like massages too. So I'm thinking massage, hot springs, trying to maybe stay the night in the mountains. So little short, spontaneous trip. Hopefully it'll work out.
That sounds amazing. I hope it works out. That would be a nice little getaway.
Yeah. So I'll let you know. That's what I've been doing all day.
Those day trips that are only a couple of hours away that are so manageable are like the perfect little trips, because it's like you only need a couple days, boom, boom. So,
Yeah. And it's not like I have any extra time off work, but I'm like, we can fit it into like a day and a half and be back for a night shift the next day or something. So
yeah, it's definitely worth it to maximize your time. I know when I got back, my boss was like, "Did you have fun? What'd you do?" I told him, like, all the hikes and stuff we did. He's like, "Wow, you really maximized your time there." It's like, yeah, the heck, you loser. Of course we did. I
yeah.
don't mean it like that. I love him, but funny. Like, I mean it in the joking, loving way.
That just reminds me, this is a little short story from my Ireland trip, which we will go into in detail here soon with Dakota. But her boss, like she works in an Irish pub and her boss is from Ireland. And so we told him we're going to Ireland, and he actually hooked us up with he actually got us like a Jameson tour and a Guinness
Oh.
factory tour. We did not make it to either because of consuming too much alcohol the night before, but we'll get into that on that episode. But he was helping us out, and we had one of our nights, we had booked a hostel in Kilkenny, Ireland, which is a very small town. And he told us, why are you doing that? That's stupid. There's nothing there. It's a waste of time. And that's actually probably the best night we had during the trip. We got super lit. We did a huge bar crawl, met a bunch of locals, had a really good time. So it's just funny how it's the unexpected things sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes also not always listening to somebody's recommendation, just kind of following a gut instinct that, you have as well. So
Exactly. And just because someone else doesn't like it doesn't mean you won't, and vice versa.
yeah, most definitely.
So,
Everybody travels for their own experiences and everybody travels for their own reasons. So don't let somebody's, bad recommendation or bad whatever deter you from a place that you really want to go. If you
yeah,
really want to go, at the end of the day, that's where you want to go, and you should do it.
exactly.
Because YOLO, you only live once. Okay.
Well, and it might suck, but it's better to go and learn than to wonder, because it might be the best trip of your life.
And it's also good to have your own opinion of a place too, even if it does suck and you should have listened to that person's recommendation. At least you can tell another person your experience that it did
Yeah.
suck. So, but you found out yourself. So
Yeah. I feel like it's better to do and learn than always wonder. It's my
most
motto.
definitely, most definitely,
It's my new motto as of today.
I like it.
Yeah. So we're really excited. We have some people coming on here soon that we actually have never met. So it'll be our first official guest. So we're really looking forward to that, hearing just different perspectives, different stories, learning about new areas that we've never been to. So keep that in mind. Amber will be back on shortly with us. We're going to hear about Bali. So look forward to that. Anything else you can think of?
Nothing really much for today. I'm just getting back into the groove of working after being back on my trip. Don't really have any trips coming up, but I would like to plan something to come see you. I know Tiff's birthday is in January, so we might be tied up with moving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a tiny little trip or, a little something, something. So, you know us, we always like to plan a little something, something.
Yeah, I was going to say, I always like to have something to look forward to. I can definitely make a trip out to you soon.
Yeah, and that's about time. So.
Yeah. Since you're, on the house hunt, hopefully I can come right when you get the new house, so I can see
Yeah,
it.
that would be nice. I think that's what I'm gonna do with my vacation time this year, opposed to actually going somewhere. Is actually using my 2 weeks to move in and get settled in and stuff. So I think that'll be actually smart to do.
That's a great idea, yeah. Because if you have any
Yeah.
projects you need to do, you'll have the time off to do it.
Yeah,
For sure.
so when that happens and during those 2 weeks, that's when you should come because I'll have time to hang out with you.
Yeah, and I
then
can help.
Yeah, and we'll be in the new house, so it will
Yeah.
be very much more comfortable than it is here. But that's the time that I'll be off and we can just go fool around.
And we can record our first episode actually together in the same location in your new house, and that'd be awesome.
Right.
So for sure, yeah,
Yes.
we'll look into that.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, that's smart because my sister, they just built a new house, and thank goodness it was over quarantine that they moved in because everyone was home. Everyone got to help for
gosh,
2 months. Yeah.
That's perfect. That is actually very perfect. So
Yeah.
that worked out. Put the kids to work.
Yeah. They need some discipline,
Okay. No more video games. Help.
Oh, whatever. That whole family plays video games.
I mean, I play video games, so.
You've played with them, actually. So
Exactly. Hey, I'm not knocking the video games. I'm just saying sometimes you gotta put it down and help, and then play when you're done. Because
exactly.
I play too. I'm not knocking.
Well, yeah. So just remember, reach out to us if you have any suggestions. If you want to come on and talk to us, we're always looking for anything to talk about. We're down for anything. Right?
Yeah, we're down to meet new people. So guys, give a jingle.
And everyone has a different perspective. So even if it's something we've covered already, we'll hear it again.
Absolutely.
So yeah, reach out to us. Instagram is jetsetherspod. Email is jetsethers@gmail.com. The website is jetsethers.com. It is not updated, but I am going to get on there and fix that in this next couple weeks. I promise.
Yes, and Apple Podcasts, we are live. We're on Spotify, Podbean, Google Podcasts. So get on there, give us a listen. Jet Setters Podcast on Facebook. Guys, give us a review.
Yeah. We're on Facebook now, so that group is growing. It's exciting. Yeah, just if you're listening, go on, give us a 5-star review. You like us, and it'll help us, and we'll appreciate you.
Definitely. Tell your friends about us too.
Yeah, they can find us on any of those devices or apps. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys give us a listen next week and get hyped up for the new episode. I'm not going to tell you what we're covering because I want your anticipation to build. And see you next week, Jenny.
Bye.
Bye.